All right, guys, in this video, we're going over our movement prep series number 1 for weightlifting. We're going to start with dead bugs. So you're going to start with knees, hips, ankles at 90 degrees, arms reaching up towards the sky. You're going to reach back with one arm as you reach forward with the opposite leg. Okay, when you do this, you want to focus on keeping your low back pressing into the ground, allowing your lower and upper abs to maintain your rib and pelvis position. Okay, you're going to do 5 to 8 of these per side. Once you've done that, or if you cannot do that, you can move on to a partial dead bug variation. Okay, so if moving the hands and feet is just a little bit too difficult, or you can't quite get the range of motion or rib control that you're looking for, go ahead and put a foam roller between your knees. You're going to squeeze that foam roller. That's going to lock our hips into place, and then you can focus on just moving the arms and getting that movement pattern down and increasing our shoulder flexion. Once you've gotten that down, the next step is going to be placing the foam roller in between your elbow and knee on the same side, and you're just going to go, one arm is going to go down and up, and then you go ahead and do the same thing with the same side leg. Okay, and then as you get good at that, then you can go ahead and do the regular dead bug. From there, we're going to go into a side lying clam. So you're going to lay on your side, again, knees, hips, ankles at 90 degrees, feet pressed into the ground with a good triplanar foot. So we want big toe, little toe, heel, all pushing into the wall. We're going to try and hold on to that foam roller, okay? So the goal here is to work on glute movement and going into internal and external rotation of the hip without allowing our feet to wiggle. So keeping that foam roller there keeps you honest with your foot positioning and with your pressure points in your feet. Okay, so you're going to do 5 to 8 of these each side. When doing this, you'll see a lot of people really focus on maybe a neutral chin or keeping your chin up. I'm really just looking for you guys to have a comfortable neck position while maintaining a little bit of rounding of the back. Okay, so that's going to allow you to kind of stack your shoulders and hips on top of each other so that you're getting the type of movement that we want. Okay, from there, we're going to go into a T-spine rotation. We're going to start with external. So you're going to go all sixes position. Let your hips dump back towards your heels. We're going to take our elbow to the opposite knee, and we're just going to turn and look towards the sky. When we do this, allow your eyes to follow the elbow and really think about moving solely through your thoracic spine. Try and keep that low back nice and neutral. Okay, it's real easy to think you're good at these if you're allowing your low back to move all over the place. Okay, so keep yourself honest and let your shoulders do the work here. Once you've done 5 to 8 on each side of those and external, we're going to go to internal. You're going to do the exact same motion. Nothing's going to change. The only difference is the hand placement, where the back of your hand is placed on the small of your back. Okay, so same thing. This time you're going to take basically shoulder to opposite elbow or opposite knee, and you're just going to turn and look at the sky. The hand on the ground, we want reaching into the floor the entire time, allowing both shoulders to get a little bit of movement and maintaining a good thoracic position. From there, we're going to go ahead and move on to our groiner to overhead reach. So you're going to start in an all sixes position or a push-up position. You're going to take your foot to the outside of your hand. You're going to take your arm and reach towards the opposite knee. Leading with your thumb, you're going to turn and look to the sky. We want to focus on keeping our back leg straight and allowing our back hip to sit down into the hip while using our hand to get some good shoulder flexion as we reach across, and then turning and getting some good thoracic rotation and external rotation on our way up. When we do these, we're going to do anywhere from 5 to 8 per side. Okay, you'll feel this in your hip flexor, adductor, and then through your thoracic spine. Okay, so from there, we're going to go back to our all sixes. We're going to go to an adductor rock back. So you're going to take your foot, place it out to the side, try and keep the foot that's out, try and keep that big toe on the floor. You're going to sit your hips back onto your heel. Okay, you want to think about reaching through the floor with the hands to round the upper back just a little bit so you can glide back and forth and work not only on opening up the hips, but also starting to open up that overhead position, which for snatching or jerking and cleaning is going to be something that is needed. So this is kind of a low threshold way to introduce a squatting and overhead position mechanics without just diving straight into a full overhead squat or clean position. From there, we're gonna move on to a push-up to downward dog. So we've drilled this gliding, now we're gonna load it a little bit. So you'll go into a push-up. When you go up to the top, you're gonna let your upper back round. You're gonna bring your hips to the sky and try and get your heels flat to the floor. Okay, so you're just gonna rock back and forth nice and easy. The ears should end even with the biceps, sometimes a little bit past, but that is not necessary. From there, we're gonna go into a half kneeling lunge. The easiest way for people to do this is we're gonna start with just a general flexion extension pattern. So you're gonna go knee, hip, and shoulder in a line. You're gonna arch your low back and then round your low back. Arch your low back and then round your low back. When you do your rounding, I want you to think about squeezing your left butt cheek or the butt cheek of the knee that's down to bring your hips back underneath you. The other way you can do this that you'll see on this other side is you can go in and out of flexion a little bit just to get the movement down, and then once you go into that flexion and neutral position, you're just gonna breathe in that position, usually about 5 breaths, 5 to 10 seconds in, 10 to 15 seconds out. From there, we're gonna go to a heel elevated squat. So you're just gonna grab a plate, a couple plates, whatever you need. We're gonna start with our heels on the plate, toes and ball of the foot pressed into the ground. We want our feet as narrow as we can. Toes pointed straight ahead. We're gonna let our knees glide directly over our toes, and we wanna think about sitting our hips directly on top of our ankle joint, okay? When we do this, we wanna allow our upper back to round, so you'll see me reaching. We wanna try and get the sternum away from our hands, okay? So our hands and sternum are gonna go in the opposite direction, okay? And then from there, we're just gonna move on to a wall slide, which we've done in previous videos. Foam roller is gonna start even with the wrists, and we're just gonna reach up, trying to keep our elbows as close together as we can. We'll do this, again, 5 to 8 times. This one's easy enough and is a good enough of a movement that you can do it up to 12 times. Try this the next time you're getting ready to lift, and let me know how it goes. We'll see you guys next time.